special treat for you tonight. As you know, there's a special guest here. Tom Welling captured audiences worldwide with his portrayal of Clark Kent in the super popular CW series that lasted for 10 seasons. It was Smallville. Well, he's now transitioning from the small screen to the big screen, as we saw here tonight in Draft Day with his portrayal of Brian Drew, the quarterback who's coming back from an injury to continue his career with the Browns. He's also a producer and a director, and he's here tonight to answer your questions. So please welcome Tom Welling.
Hi, thanks for being here. You guys like the movie?
Yeah!
You didn't like the movie? You can leave. You can go.
Thank you so much for coming out with us tonight.
Thanks for having me.
So can you tell us a little bit about what drew you to the character of Brian, and maybe a little bit about the casting process?
Sure. Well, at the time I was unemployed and I needed a job. They called. No, this came to me very quickly. I went in to meet on this role, and 10 days later I was on set. I think they may have cast someone else who fell out. I don't know. I didn't ask. I don't want to know. So it all happened very quickly. What I liked about this guy is he's dealing. You know, this is a guy who I think you mentioned had a career-ending knee injury last season, and he found a way to rehab himself. And he comes back at prime conditioning, ready to go. He's familiar with the system, and he shows up the first day and realizes he's probably going to be replaced by a young, unproven rookie, and he's not too happy about that. And also the opportunity to work with Kevin Costner. That was a big thing.
I was going to ask you about that, because that pivotal scene in the locker room, you really go toe-to-toe with him. What was that like?
It was awesome. I mean, in a lot of ways, when I showed up, I was in the same shoes as a lot of you would probably be meeting Kevin Costner as a fan. And then I thought I was excited, and I realized I was really nervous. And then Kevin came over and sort of introduced himself, and we spent about 20 minutes getting to know each other a little bit, and then we jumped right into it. But he was really great to work with, a great sort of teammate in the scene.
And not only did you get to work with Kevin Costner, but the iconic Ivan Reitman as director. What was that like?
It was fantastic. I didn't know what to expect, but he's such like a warm, caring sort of. You want to get that? Does that work? He creates an environment on set where you can really feel comfortable to go for it, and to change things up and feel safe, which is a big thing when you're really just failing each time trying to find something that works and to make the director happy. And as you guys saw, I felt when I saw the screening the first time that I saw Kevin in a way that I've never seen him before. The humor that's in it, the sort of one-liners, the zingers that came out, and I think that that's a big part of Ivan as well, sort of just shepherding the comedy in just the right way.
And you play quarterback, so did you channel any certain quarterback? Now remember, this is a Denver audience, so.
Well, I don't know if you guys remember this guy. When I was younger, he was really John Elway. Did you guys? No, it was funny. I did, to be honest, I didn't think much about professional quarterbacks because there's not much football in the movie, at least that I played. I went up to the Browns training camp and spent a couple of days up there talking to the guys, and we talked more about the lifestyle of being in the NFL and what it meant to travel and the burden that come along with it, with your family and not knowing how long you're going to be there, and at the same time there's another young guy right behind you trying to take your head off.
And it's very authentic in its representation of Draft Day. How involved was the NFL?
Well, this is the first film in history that the NFL has ever endorsed, and that allowed a lot of access for this production. As you saw, the footage from last year's draft, as well as we didn't have to wear false uniforms or make up fake names, and I think that brings a level of authenticity and access. Like I said, going to spring training and having some football players on the cast as well. That was a lot of fun.
It seems like a crowd that likes sports movies. Yeah. So, what are some of your favorite sports movies of the past, and what do you think makes a good, authentic, entertaining sports movie?
Yeah, I think for me, Major League was a movie I watched a lot. Yeah. Bull Durham, I know I'm a little biased, but that was a great one too. I think sports movies should be a lot like what Draft Day is. I think the heroes struggle for identity and for purpose in life, and a lot of these movies, the theme is at the end you feel sort of motivated to reach your own goals, and I think that's a good theme in sports films.
We love seeing you on the big screen, so I know a question probably a lot of you have is, will we ever see Smallville on the big screen? Or a Smallville reunion, perhaps?
I'm not sure. I've probably outgrown that character already, but we'll see.
Never.
All right, we'd like to pass it on to the audience and see if there's any questions.
You talked about working with Kevin Costner. We've all heard rumors about Dennis Leary and how much of a prankster he can be and how funny he is to work with. Can you talk about that a little bit?
Well, as you saw in the film, my character didn't cross paths with Dennis Leary's character, and I didn't hear much about that. The vibe on set was very sort of energetic but focused. There wasn't much horsing around, so to speak. But I'm sure that some of those scenes they had a lot of fun. I'm sure working with Diddy was fun too. I'm sure.
Good evening. I was just wondering, how much did you know about the actual events before you picked up the script or heard about the movie?
Zero. I knew nothing about it. I had sort of come across the draft a few times on television, but I didn't know. You kind of assume that there's drama behind the scenes, but this definitely, I have a great appreciation for it now after watching this. I mean, in a way, I read the script, I was in the film, and then I still found myself in the screening wondering if this was based on a true event because it felt so real.
You said that you are a director and an actor. Which would you prefer doing? Like, if you were going to become an even more professional in one, which would you prefer to major in or what?
That would be like picking favorite children in a way. The way that I see it is with directing, acting, and producing, I think the more that you can learn about each, the better you can communicate with the other, and they all sort of inform the other as well. And I think depending on my participation in a project, if it helps that I'm a producer, I'll do that, or direct. And I'm sure down the line I'll probably try to do all three in one. We'll see what happens.